Good morning, everyone. We will begin the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters, asking God and Meishu-sama for protection and the permission to participate today in the divine plan of constructing a paradise on this earth. Let us pray of heaven, followed by the Miroku Prayer. Please stand. Taka amahara ni kamsumarimasu. Kitamura mino mikoto mochite sumemi oya kamuri sana kino mikoto atsukushi no imuka no tachirana no odo no ahagi harani miso Itamo toki ni narimaseru harai dono kami tachi moro moro no magagoto tsumi kegare o harai tamae kiyome tamae tongao sukoto no yoshi o amatsu kami unitsu kami ao yorozu no kami tachi tomo ni ame no fuchi koma no mimi uri tatete kikoshi mese to kashikomi mo maosu Miroku o mikami mamori tamae sakihae tamae Miroku o mikami mamori tamae sakihae tamae Oshie mi oyanushi no kami mamori tamae sakihae tamae Oshie mi oyanushi no kami mamori tamae sakihae tamae Kum nagara tamachi haemase. Kum nagara tamachi haemase. Great God of light, creator and giver of all light,
in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine evermore brilliantly awakens the dawn of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan.
Please be seated. receive group Johrei.
Meishu-sama, bless you.
We will now listen to a reading from Meishu-sama's teachings. A way to live. Those who guide others with kindness, love, and impartiality, no matter who they may be, act in accordance with God's will. To deceive others is the same as stealing their rightful possessions. All such acts are betrayals. Become one who can bear any hardship or misunderstanding with a smile, as though it were nothing. God trains and disciplines those who have some great mission to accomplish by giving them many lessons to learn, many difficult problems to overcome. Of them all, I think the hardest lesson for anyone to learn is the controlling of indignation at some wrong committed against oneself. An individual should realize that the more he or she experiences things that must be borne in silence, the greater the mission in life must be. When you reach the point where you can bear any injustice or humiliation calmly without giving way to anger, you have passed the first stage in your spiritual training, the learning of self control. Remember that God trains all those he has especially chosen through trials. So, whatever irritates or offends you is his way of molding your character. This is the attitude of one who trusts in God.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the Miroku Association headquarters morning service. Thank you also for praying along with us for world peace. This morning, I want to share with you the faith experience of Leandro Torres Miguel. He's from Sorocaba, São Paulo. Encouraged by his wife, who was already a Johrei member, Leandro, who is now 33 years old, received his sacred focal point in 9. At first, he was very excited and dedicated himself with gratitude. However, over time, he began feeling discouraged. Some reasons seemed evident. He was not expressing his gratitude to God, and although he spent some time reading the teachings of Meishu-sama, he did not practice them, and essentially disregarded our practices of faith. Leandro currently has 2 children, and in December of 2021, his youngest child, almost 3 years old at the time, experienced a strong purification. He had great difficulty breathing, and upon being hospitalized, was sent to the ICU where bacteria was detected in his lungs. 2 days later, he needed to be intubated. Both Leandro and his wife were allowed to stay in the hospital, which gave them the opportunity to channel Johrei to their child without interruption. They prayed deeply to God, asking for a miracle, because as the doctors had advised, the case was a very serious one. On January 1st of this year, the condition, which was already serious, got worse. The child's heartbeat increased exponentially and his lungs' breathing capacity became dramatically impaired. The medical team performed an emergency procedure in an attempt to alleviate the toddler's breathing difficulties. At that moment, the worst possibilities imposed themselves across Leandro's mind. Fearful and extremely distressed, the couple asked for prayers from church members and prayed fervently to God and Meishu-sama for their son's life to be spared. Regardless of any medical intervention that occurred, Leandro and his wife continued with the intensive Johrei channeling. After 3 hours of Johrei, new tests were performed, and the surprising results delighted everyone, as the improvement was even more significant than the medical team had thought possible. Their son started to recover, and little by little, all the devices and medications were lessened, and he was able to once again breathe normally. Joy and gratitude to God and Meishu-sama took over Leandro's soul. And on January 6, 2022, this year, the child was discharged from the hospital and able to return home. He's currently undergoing medical follow-ups to treat the imbalance that remained in his lungs. However, today he's feeling quite well and not experiencing any respiratory problems. Through this experience, Leandro solidified his conviction in Meishu-sama's power of salvation through Johrei and has renewed his commitment to serving the divine plan. To express gratitude for the great miracle received and for the life of their son, Leandro and his spouse, along with their whole family, materialized a special donation of gratitude. Leandro has committed to follow, as best as he can, Meishu-sama's footsteps, dedicating himself to help establish a paradise in other people's lives. Thank you very much for attending this morning service, for listening to this faith experience. I wish you a very wonderful weekend. Thank you.
This brings to a conclusion our morning service. Thank you everyone for joining us, and we wish you a very blessed day.